Okay. Last one of the unit, equation of a circle. Equation of a circle, which has its center at the origin. Remember the origin, 0, 0 on the Cartesian plane, is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r represents the radius of the circle. So, determine the equation of a circle that is centered at the origin, has a radius of 6. Well, all that means is that a radius equals 6. So again, we sub in what we know. X squared plus y squared equals 6 squared. And luckily, a number squared, we can solve for that. So our equation, x squared plus y squared equals 36. And there's the actual equation of the circle. Now, what that circle would look like, the center would be at the origin. And if it has a radius of 6, there's a few points that we know it would go through. We know that the radius is 6 here would be 6 wide, so that would be 6, 0. And over here it would be 6 high, so that would be 0, 6. And back here it would be 6 from the origin, so that would be negative 6, 0. And down here it would be down 0, negative 6. And that circle would fill that space. Now the circle itself is just the outside. Again, if it was filled in, flood fill, then it'd be inside. But that's the actual radius. This radius is 6, but that point might not be a nice point. So looking at where it crosses the axes, or completely horizontal to the left, horizontal to the right, vertical up and vertical down, might give us the nice points. Determine the radius of the circle, x squared plus y squared equals 81. So remember that 81 is equal to the radius squared. So to find the actual radius, we're going to take the square root. And the radius of this circle is 9. Right? And we know that this one is centered at 0, 0 because it's x squared plus y squared. That kind of looks like something we've seen before. So any radius, if we drop it down, makes a right angle triangle. So even though it's circles, it really kind of follows a pattern of triangles. Verify that this point lies on that circle. Well, that's just an x and that's a y. So like we verify or check, we're going to sub in what we have. So x is negative 3 and y is 6. We sub that in for x. We sub that 6 in for y. And let's see, negative 3 squared is 9. 6 squared is 36. 6 plus 36 is 45. Hey, that equals 45. The left side equals the right side. Awesome. So yes, it is. The point is on this circle. Cool. Determine the equation of a circle centered at 0, 0 and passing through the point negative 2, 5. So remember that the equation, when it's centered at 0, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. We don't know the radius that goes through that point. So let's sub in what we know. We know that x is negative 2. We know that y is 5. Negative 2 squared is 4. 5 squared, 25. We add those together and it's 29, and that's our radius squared. Now, remember that in the equation we need the radius squared to go there. If I ask what the radius is, we would actually take the square root, but because we don't need that, the equation, that's a short form for equation, EQN with an underline, is x squared plus y squared equals r squared of 29. Now, that's all great when it's centered at 0, 0. We have to determine the equation of a circle centered at 2, 4 and passes through the point -1, 7. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to add some things that we could have mentioned ahead of time. And that is h, k. So these numbers, where it's centered at, play a little bit, I don't know why I just rewrote those. That's what I wanted to write. Those numbers play a little bit of an influence. So go back, scroll back to the top of your sheet, and let's rewrite this. What this actually is x minus h all squared plus y minus k all squared equals r, the radius, all squared. So h and k, if we think back, well, how come we didn't use it here? Because it was centered at 0, 0. So really here we would have had -2 minus 0 all squared plus 5 minus 0 all squared equals radius squared. And -2 minus 0 is -2, so we can do that. So if we have a new center, we gotta just incorporate it there. So if it passes through the point -1, -7, we have x minus h all squared plus y, and that minus is our default, so minus k all squared equals our radius squared. So if we need the equation, we want to find what does that all equal. No matter what, because it starts at that point, our equation is still going to be x minus h, and we have a value for h, squared plus y minus our value for k, 4, all squared is going to be our radius squared, and that's what we're trying to determine. So this is almost the full equation. Let's see, -1 take away 2 is -3 squared. 7 take away 4 is 3 squared. So we're going to have 9 plus 9 is radius squared. The radius squared is 18. If I asked you how long the radius actually was, we would take the square root, but it doesn't matter. That is what we're looking for, that 18. So that 18 goes over here. And that is the equation of a circle that is centered at 2, 4 and passes through the point -1, 7. The x and the y still remain. Remember, that's kind of like a line. When y equals mx plus b, that's the form. But an example would be minus 2x plus 11. We still have a y, we still have an x. Then we can choose, when x is 5, what would y be? And we can solve with some of the skills we're going to develop further into the course. So circles, just a quick little intro. Flip to the back, there's a whole bunch of practice questions. Give them a go. Ask for clarification as needed.